So, what do you talk about when you don't think you have anything to talk about? Oh, the lighting. That's better. What do you talk about when you don't think you have anything to talk about? That's a good question. Yeah, if you want to start a YouTube channel, but you don't think you've got anything to say. Well, if you're over 40, you're certainly going to have life experience, that's for sure. Yeah, you can talk about your day. You can talk about if anything's happened to you, anything that you've been through, anything traumatic, anything with your, children, grandchildren. Is there any hobbies that you like to share, that you're good at, any skills that you're good at, any inspiration that you'd like to share? There are many things, when you get to over 40. The lighting, just switching it around. Yeah, so there are many things that you can talk about when you are over 40 because you have life experience. So let's talk about that. Life experience. You've lived to get over 40, yeah? Over 50, maybe even over 60 in some cases. Yeah? So let's just talk about that. How has that been? How has that journey been? Has it been a healthy journey for you? Have you been ill? If you want to share illnesses, how did you overcome that? Are you in the process of overcoming that? So, oh, there's a jet flying past again. That's noisy. Yeah, so, yeah, if there's an illness that you have, could you share maybe some of the remedies you've tried, some of the treatments you've tried? It really is up to you what you want to share, what you're comfortable sharing. Yeah, there are lots of things that we can talk about. I mean, are you good at cooking, for example? Do you have recipes that you want to share? Are you a health advocate? Are you really into fitness? Are you into, healthy eating, fitness, diet, exercise, all those areas? Are you good at drawing? Are you good at art? Is there art that you'd like to share? Are there techniques in art that you'd like to share? Are you good at finance? Yeah, budgeting, that's another thing. Budgeting. A lot of people need help with budgeting, especially in this day and age when people are struggling. Times are difficult, prices are high. Budgeting is very important, and I think budgeting is would be a very useful skill if you don't have it. And if you're good at that, you could certainly share some budgeting tips. Things like how to create a budget, well, what a budget is, how to create a budget, looking at your income and expenses and seeing what you can salvage or save out of that. Yeah, if you're good at that, that would be a good topic. Finance, anything. It could be art, cooking, as I say. You want to share recipes. If you want to even do demonstrations on video, if you want to, you can do cookery demonstrations and explain the ingredients, the nutrition behind it. And if you're good at cooking but you're not sure about the nutrition, you could do some research and just drop some little nuggets in. There's lots of things. I mean, if you have a child with a condition, you could share your journey if you're comfortable to do that. And if you probably get a following, if there are people who can relate to that. There's lots of things. If you love nature, if you love adventure, you could talk about your adventures. If you travel, you could take the camera with you and film, just film your adventures. You can document them on video. How interesting is that? There are just so many things. I'm just trying to think what else there could be. There's so many things. I mean, if you like reading, you could, almost have a sort of online book club, reading books. If you're good at reading and explaining and simplifying things, doing book summaries, anything like that you could do, especially with your life experience. You'd be able to share it in a way that is quite interesting. Are you good at storytelling? That's a useful skill on YouTube, online, anywhere really. It's a very useful skill to have. Ooh, I'm getting blacked out. Yeah, so it's very, very, there's a lot of things we can share. I mean, I'm sure you can think of other things, even as you go about your day. Even today I was thinking, oh, what can I share today? And I thought, well, why not do something on if you don't know what to say, if you think you don't have content. Because, yeah, sometimes it gets like that. I mean, yeah, it's good to plan ahead, to be prepared if you can. If you want to start a YouTube channel, be prepared, think of some topics ahead of time and, then practice for 2 times maybe and then upload the third video. Always horizontally, film horizontally, because that's the way YouTube likes the videos. Yeah, so, and yeah, if you can, keep your videos to 15 minutes maybe, 15-20 minutes, something like that is quite good. You might start off with 10 minutes maybe, 15-20 minutes is nice if you can do that. And with practice, you will be able to do that. Yeah, so if you like gardening, that's another one you could do. Gardening is a good one. Gardening, if you've got tips on gardening, winter gardening, depending on where you're watching this, winter gardening, what tips do you do, in the winter? What's useful to do in the garden this time of year? I'm in the UK. Today is quite frosty. I mean, I wonder if there's anything you can do in the garden this time of year. I'm sure there is. People who are experts will be able to share. Yeah, if you're an expert in gardening, please share the channel, because it'd be interesting to know these things. If you're interested in, let's just say radio, anything, anything at all. If you're interested in drones, flying drones, that's another area of interest. There's so many things you could do with a drone. I mean, you could show the journeys that the drone has been on. That's quite an interesting topic lately on YouTube. And you could advise, if you're good at drone flying, you could advise or give reviews on drones, what you think, because some people want to buy a drone, but they're not sure which one to start with. So that's another useful area to get involved in if you're very good at drones. Yeah, there's just so many things. So those are just some things that you can be good at. If you're good at inspiring people, that's another good area, just to get motivated, to get things done. That's another good area to get involved in, because people need it these days, don't we? We need it. People do need it. They really do. There's real need for encouragement. There's a need for just authenticity as well. Sorry, I'm covering. Yeah, there's a need for authenticity. As you can see, my videos are unedited, and it's quite deliberate. I mean, I'm not good at editing, but I just think it comes across as really real. You can see that I'm just a regular person like yourself, and it just goes to show that you can actually do these things. The light is amazing. It's so bright. I'm trying to think where the best place is to put this camera. Yeah. I hope you can still see me. It's hard to tell. But yeah, there's just so many things you can do. I mean, if you're good at lighting, that would be a very useful thing, like all things technology, if you're good at that. Or if you know somebody that's good at that, you could encourage them to start a YouTube channel. Yeah, lighting is important. Doing things, how to start a YouTube channel. If you've already started your channel, how did you start? Those are good tips for beginners. What have you learnt on your journey? Are there any YouTubers that you've learnt from? You could include those, and see what lessons you've learnt. There are just so many ideas, really. I think hopefully those will give you a few sort of a head starter on what to share on YouTube. Yeah, as you can see, I'm out walking again, and I love walking. It's just something I do each day. I find it helps you to be more positive. It helps you to be obviously oxygenated, get all that fresh air into your lungs, gives you energy, and just helps you, it just helps towards a general feeling of well-being. So yeah, if you like walking, adventure, exercise, anything like that, those are always great topics to share on YouTube. So if you like knitting, crocheting, yeah, those are good too, because there are a lot of people who would probably like to learn knitting, crocheting techniques. And if you could get good close-ups of your techniques, that's something that you could do from the comfort of your very own home, or in the car, or wherever, really. As long as you have a phone, a basic phone with a camera, you're good to go. Yeah, so yeah, it's just lovely. It really is lovely just to be outside. I just love being outside, especially on days like this when it was frosty, but now the sun's out, and it's just, you have this beautiful warmth. I've got the warmth of the sun on my back, or on my side in this case now, and you've got the freshness in the air. It's beautiful. Yeah. You could say a day in the life of, several days in the life of. Those are good tips. If you're working, a day in the life of whatever, fill the blank. Yeah. A day in the life of a massage therapist, a day in the life of a teacher. If you're a teacher, what was that experience like? That's another trending topic, actually, teaching. If you're a teacher, you were a teacher, what were your experiences? What was it like when you started teaching? What is it like nowadays? Are people going to teaching? Are people leaving teaching? Why? If they are, why? How is it these days in the classroom? Let's try and get back to it. There we go. Got you. Yeah, how is it in the classroom? Yeah, so these are areas that you can discuss. They're very interesting topics. If you're interested in politics, some people are. There you could share views on YouTube. That's very trending. There are even reaction videos. If you're interested in certain things, music or politics, yeah, reaction videos, or you could present news as it happens and share it. Those are very, very, very good ideas. So yeah, there are many many things you can do, and I'm sure that you're listening to this, your mind will be ticking now and thinking, yes, wow, I never thought of that. I didn't think I could do that. Yeah, I hope that's what you are thinking, because that's good. It means that the juices are flowing and you're getting there, getting your ideas. Hopefully, if you've got a notepad, you'll be jotting some of the ideas down, and the ideas that come to your mind as you listen to the video. Because yeah, I'm just all about being the catalyst to get your mind going, basically thinking, and just to encourage you to do well, to win, as they say, to do well, to get motivated. If ever you've wanted to start YouTube or start anything, just get motivated and do it. Just do it. That's very important. Just do it, because when you just do things, it really is. It's just so good. You feel so much better for it. Rather than just sitting there and putting things off and then regretting it, because none of us are getting younger. So we have to do things while we can. That's just a reality. The reality is you have to do things while you can, especially if you're over 50, over 60. We've just got to just do it. Right? So because there will come a time, that's if we're fortunate, that is, to even live that long, when you can't do things. We've all seen people who are very senior. They have active minds, but physically they can't do things. They may be in a wheelchair, they might be bedbound. They can't do things anymore. So now is the time to do things while you can, while you're able to, while you can still walk, while you can still talk, while you can still use your hands, while you can still use your, mouth, your ears. It's just important to do things while you can, because there will come a time, like I say, when you can't. And, and that's a reality. It's just a reality. It's just the way it is. Like I say, that's if we're fortunate to get to that point, because you never know, things can happen in between. Yeah. We all know of younger people, 20s, 30s, younger even, that have sadly, lost their lives, passed away for whatever reason. It's just not, time is not guaranteed. None of us know how long we're here for. So it's important to just do things. We can't procrastinate. No procrastination. We can't live like, when you're a teenager, you think you're invincible, almost immortal. I'll do it tomorrow mentality. I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow's not a given at any age, to be honest, these days. Sadly, it just isn't. So we just have to get over that and just start being motivated, doing things now. And I'm not saying this to frighten anyone. It's just a reality. It's just the way it is. It's a reality. It is just the way it is. That's just life. So we have to get real about things like that and find something that you really enjoy doing. So, always think, when I get to a point, if I get to a point where I can't do things anymore, will I have good memories? Will I think, yes, I'm really glad I did do that? And hopefully this video will help you, will motivate you to do it, whatever it is you need to do and want to do. It's important to be able to sit back afterwards and say, yes, I'm really glad I did that. That will give you cherished memories. It's about making memories as well, when you do things that you really want to do without procrastinating. It's about making memories. I mean, I'm self-employed. I've been self-employed now for the past nearly 3 years, actually, and I love it. Actually love it. For those of you that don't know, I'm self-employed as a massage therapist, sole trader. Yeah, I didn't want to work for a salon because office work and just working for others doesn't really suit me. I'm more a kind of, I like the autonomy that self-employment gives me, and I love it because I can choose when I want to work, more or less. And I love that aspect of it. So yeah, it's important to, I would say, if you have something that you really want to do, a passion that you want to pursue, go for it. Yeah, don't wait, because you just have to do things while you can. That's just the reality of it. And I've just got to just tell it like it is, really. I mean, we don't always like to hear that, but it's the truth, isn't it? We all know, but we just don't always want to face it. But yeah, I did face that, quite a few years ago. I was thinking, what, I've got to do things while I can. I have to do things while I can, because there will come a point. I've seen it in too many people, You see it in relatives, don't you? You see people who end up with dementia. You see people who, family members who don't recognize you anymore. You see people physically not able anymore. They may develop shaking in their body parts, hands. They can't do things. So while you can, just go for it, yeah? Especially if you're over 40, 50, over 60, do it. What have we got to lose? Nothing. I've got things to gain, got nothing to lose. Yeah. So we've covered lots of areas that you could look at. We've covered lots of areas that you could look at. We've looked at, we've looked at gardening, cooking. If you're a swimming instructor, you could do a video on how you teach people to swim, maybe. It could be anything, absolutely anything. If you're a carpenter, builder, take the camera with you and go through some tips on how you do certain joints if you're a carpenter. you know, how do you do bricklaying? It could be absolutely anything, you know, as long as you're passionate about it and, you know, you're relatively good at it, then yeah, it would work. And, you know, as long as you're passionate about it, you want to do it, just do it, you know, go for it. Yeah, and I always say, if I can do it, you can do it. So I'll see you in the next video.